the veracity of the Bible and the authenticity of this Bible that has been going on for thousands of years, and until today, no book has sold more than the Bible has. But first, I would like to start off with giving this analogy. It's going to sound crazy. So let's just say all of a sudden this group of people claim that Elvis Presley, it was all a hoax. He did not die. They all made up that his death, he's alive and he lives, yada, yada, yada. How far do you think that will go? How far do you think the veracity of that story will last? How many books will it sell? And how many thousands of people will believe in it? Billions of people. How many? No, it's not gonna last. It's gonna be a stupid hoax. People are gonna say, are you kidding me? He died like, I don't know how many years, when did he die? He died like, let's just say 40, 50, 60 years ago. People are still alive. Everybody saw his grave. He's dead. So I'm bringing this analogy to say that if Jesus was fake, if Jesus was fake, right? How did all of a sudden Jews, hardcore believing Jews, and we all know how Jewish people are, okay? They are rather stubborn people, and you cannot make them change their mind. They are very strong people. They are very stubborn and set in their ways, okay? And you can't make them do something that they don't want to do. Kind of like that too, very stubborn. Stubbornness is not a bad thing. Okay, anyway. So that said, knowing how Jewish people are, most, ladies and gentlemen, after the death of Christ, all of a sudden, most of the believers of the gospel were devoted Jews. So how do you explain the sudden shift? Imagine all of these Jewish people, thousands of hundreds and thousands of Jews, all of a sudden shifted. Do you see that happening on the made-up story of Elvis Presley? No. If it wasn't real, these people wouldn't go from serving from the religion Judaism to serving this Messiah, Jesus Christ, because they experienced the cross and the resurrection, ladies and gentlemen. Hundreds and hundreds of people experienced the cross, experienced the resurrection. And that explains why there was a sudden shift of all these Jews, devoted Jews. They don't play with their religion. You could kill them, they will not leave their religion. All of a sudden, they shift. Why? Because they saw it. And you're saying, no, the Gospels were written, I had an atheist professor. No, the Gospels written for like hundreds of years ago after the death of Christ. No. But can you prove that? The Gospels were written between 40 to 65 AD. Okay? As soon as 40 years after the death of Christ. So Mark's Gospel was written a few years after the death of Jesus. Now you're saying, how do you know? Well, another fact of that is that if it was written after 65 years, the death of Jesus Christ, don't you think they would have mentioned the destruction of the temple, Solomon's temple, by the Romans? That's like the most important thing. It's not mentioned anywhere in the Bible. Duh. Because it was written way before the destruction of the Temple of Solomon. So that's another fact, is the Bible was composed of 40 different authors. Listen, 40 different authors who did not know one another, who were 1,500 to 2,000 miles away from one another. Okay? And it was written between all these 40 different authors, wrote these manuscripts within 1,500 years all of this was about 1,500 years. Now, when they put all these manuscripts, ladies and gentlemen, together, it fitted perfectly. How do you explain that? How on earth do you explain that? Let me give you an imagine. Imagine you get this cathedral shipped to you. Imagine you get not the whole cathedral, just like the Bible. The whole Bible wasn't shipped. It was different manuscripts, right? So imagine 40 different authors. So imagine you're going to make this cathedral and it comes in parts, different parts, thousands and thousands and 2,000 of different parts. And it's different parts constructed by different builders. But when you put them together like a puzzle, it fits perfectly into this beautiful puzzle of cathedral, ladies and gentlemen. How do you explain that? What are the chances? 1 trillion and trillion and trillion probably. And that's how the Bible, just like that cathedral, that's how the Bible was. It was different authors wrote these different, like the manuscripts, and when they put them together, it fitted perfectly. Okay, another very, very interesting thing in the Bible that so the Bible had like 40 authors, right? The whole thing was like consisted of 40 authors. And the Bible is the only book that has more than one author. For example, look at the Book of Mormon. It has one author. Look at Hinduism, Buddhism. Look at, the most importantly, Islam. Look at the Islam. It consists of one person. It was only Muhammad who wrote the word of God given to him by the angel Gabriel. That's what he claims. The Quran was written by one person. Imagine me, I can make up anything and say, oh, Angel Gabriel visited me and said, forget about the Jews, forget about the Christians, you make your own religion, it was all false, yada, yada, yada. So I write my own book and then I prove it without anything. Book, Buddhism, Islam, Mormonism, no other religion has, but only the Bible has, is it's historically verified. Archaeologically, the Book of Mormon has never been verified historically, never. Any single thing that says in there has not one thing been verified. Listen, in the Quran, not one thing has been verified archaeologically, scientifically, historically. Not place, not one place, not one person, nothing. Absolutely nothing. But the Bible has been verified. For example, a lot of things I can't mention now. For example, the wall in the Jericho, that's archaeologically verified, that there were walls and that these walls were destroyed. For example, and that they collapsed. For example, people in the Bible, like the house of Simon, it's been verified. The house of Rahab has been verified. Just a lot of things have been archaeologically verified. The newest one was King David. He was verified. They found a coin in another country that was talking about this king of the Jews, David. So that has been, listen, but there has never been anything in the Quran, in the Book of the Mormons, that has ever been verified. You understand? So it falls. It falls. The Bible is the only religious book that stands. The only religious book, ladies and gentlemen. This is probably the last thing. Another extremely important proof that no other, again, religious book has is prophecy. Is prophecy, ladies and gentlemen. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of prophecies that has come to pass, that was prophesied 1,500 years, 1,000 years before it happened. For example, the Isaiah is all about prophecy. It talks about Jesus. It talks about the birth of Jesus. How did he know Jesus was going to be born there? How did he know these magi's are going to come and give him gifts? How did he know everything has been prophesied? How did they know that they're gonna cast lots? They're gonna gamble on the tunic, on the red purple tunic of Jesus. That the soldiers were gonna gamble. This was all prophesied, ladies and gentlemen. Over 70 prophecies were given to Jesus 1,500 years before his birth. That happened. That is all verified. So these were prophesied in the Old Testament that came past, that came true in the New Testament. That Jesus was going to be sold for 30 pieces of silver. That Judas is going to stab him in the back, give him to the Romans for 30 pieces of silver. This was all prophesied. There is not one prophecy. This is how stupid these people are, I'm sorry. There is not one prophecy in the Quran. There's not one prophecy in the Book of Mormon, especially the Quran. There's not one prophecy in the Quran. And if there is, maybe they're saying, oh, Jesus is going to come, and they actually believe Jesus is going to come and destroy the Jews. That hasn't come to pass yet. Okay. I mean, nothing that they say has come to pass because it's all BS. It's a made-up book. What else? That's about it. Oh yeah, hold on. I have another thing. Okay, let's talk about manuscripts. Do you guys believe in atheists? Do you question the veracity of Plato? Do you question the veracity of Herodotus? Do you question the veracity of Caesar and their existence, that there ever been existed? Do you question Tacitus, the historian? No. You never find any professor, any historian, any atheist trying to disprove that these people existed. Okay, what's my point? Let me tell you what's my point. We have 10,000 manuscripts for the Old Testament, okay? Versus, we only have 7 manuscripts for Plato. Why do you believe in him? It's only 7 manuscripts. And 8 manuscripts for Herodotus. And only 10 manuscripts for Caesar. And yet, we never question the existence of Caesar. Caesar, they make movies about him. They make books about him. But we have 10,000 manuscripts for the Old Testament, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Alexander the Great. Do you ever question him? Have you ever heard anybody question the existence of Alexander the Great? No. What about Julius Caesar? Oh, I just talked about Julius Caesar. No. So listen to this. Jesus has 25,000 manuscripts. And yet, everybody questions him. Actually, Jesus, there is not one religion that questions Jesus, the existence of Jesus. Jews, it's verified historically that he was this man. There was this man, Jesus, historically verified. Josephus talks about him. He's a Jewish historian. Muslims, they don't question the existence of Jesus. So there's no religion that questions the existence of Jesus, and there's no historical evidence that Jesus didn't happen. There's all historians talk about Jesus and that this man existed, and they claim that he was a good man. Jews believe that he was very deceived, a crazy person, a deceiver. But that's good, so that means that he did exist. Now, okay, so for example, Islam, they like Jesus. They say he was a really good prophet, but their number one prophet is Muhammad. Now, how can you call a liar a prophet? So Jesus is a liar, disgusting liar. So why do you say he's a good man? What do you mean he's a disgusting liar? Well, according to you, he's not God. According to you, he's not the Son of God. He's just a prophet. But that will make him a horrible, horrible, demented, psychopath liar. Because Jesus, over and over and over and over and over again, claims to be the Son of God. And on top of that, he says, I and the Father are one. Oh my goodness. So he's putting himself as to being God. He says, when you see me, that's the same thing as seeing the Father. So how do you worship, how do you respect a prophet like that? So I just don't understand Muslim people. Please explain it to me. Please explain it to me, because he said that he was God, and the only way to heaven is through Jesus Christ. I don't care who you are. The only way you could go see the Father is through Jesus Christ. There is no other way. There is no other way, ladies and gentlemen. Do you understand what God did for me, for you? We are terrible, horrible, sinful, disgusting, despicable, dirty human beings. We are like dirty rags, as Paul says. And you don't want to know what that is. And yet, he gave his only, slaughtered his only begotten Son. And just whosoever believes in him as being the Son of God will be saved. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to work. Mormon, Catholic, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to work for your salvation. You are saved. If you truly repent and believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, and that you're only saved through the blood, you're saved. God saved us through grace. He didn't save you by works. He saved you by grace. That's a gift. If it was through works, then that wouldn't be a gift. But no, he wanted to gift you salvation. Why? I don't know. Because he loves us. He loves to have an intimate relationship with you. You don't even have to go to church. You don't have to do anything. Just accept him. Have this connection with Jesus Christ. And if you want to have a connection with Jesus Christ and are not able to, you don't feel anything, that's okay. You talk to God like you're talking to your friend, like you're talking to your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, and say, God, please help me. I want to know you. Prove yourself to me, please. Prove yourself to me. Remove that veil that might be hindering me to see who you are. I want to know the truth. Reveal the truth to me. Listen, beloved, it's very easy. If you have a open heart, he will show you who he is. He is not a egotistic, narcissistic God like us. He's not egotistic like us. You know, he wants to save you. I don't care who you are, what kind of sin you've done. I don't care who you are. If you want Jesus to come into your heart, just ask him to come into your heart and just ask him to save you. And just like this, you're saved. Just like the thief on the cross. He was going to go to hell. But Jesus said, today you will be with me in paradise. Why? Because he repented. He said, please forgive me. Remember me. I want to come to paradise. And Jesus said, all done. He didn't need to read the Bible. He didn't need to pray. Not pray. No, he kind of did pray. He didn't need to go to Jerusalem, get baptized. He didn't need to do good works. He just believed. He just believed.